is from Biafra's Got Talent. We are letting Biafrans know the reason why we should remember those who gave their lives for us, those who died that we may live.
You died to end my suffering. You died fighting for my freedom. Your blood is the seed of redemption. You are my inspiration.
The deed no longer them, military shots at them. 67 to 70, we remember them. 2016, 38 May, memory still lives in our mind till today. Wonder why they refuse to publicize the genocide. The world media turn blind eyes to our plight. It's time to arise, land of the rising sun. Let's rise one more time, let's rise.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes, those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Tell them I touched me. Remember when me tell you say I touched me. Yeah, I remember that one that called us a Bruce Mero. But the way you go like a Papa Nuku. But them they were Boniro. Me tell you what I look pandi, what pandi Samiro. Me tell you what I day. For we get from the rest of man, I tell you what I do. Me know back and forth. Me tell them
heroes, I want to promise you something today. We must fight together, no retreat and no surrender. We must hold them down till the end of time. The most important thing is that we will restore Biafra. May your soul rest in peace.
And I look up to the sky with tears in my eye. For other Biafrans and for freedom had to die. We will never forget you as the days go by. You are always in my heart, we'll never be apart. They fought for our freedom, they died for our freedom. They fought the Nigerian soldiers in the war front, without food, without guns, for our freedom, for our life, for our own good, for our children. We love them, our heroes, we want them.
My heart bleeds when I saw them slain. Where will I be now if not then? They will remain indelible in my heart forever, 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 and ever, and ever, and ever.
We serve in your plantation, and the way you paid us back with your bloody starvation. We play in our history that the death of my people is the mystery. No going back to get to a victory. I had a voice now call for vengeance. I never get bombed, I'ma blow like a vengeance.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes, those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Where will I be now? If not you, you died at Mali.
They were starved to death because of our freedom, and they paid the debt for our freedom. Flag high for those that died in the genocide, fighting for you and I. There is pain in the heart, we bleeding inside, tears in the eyes, so I'm following you.
This is for my fallen heroes. Give them a motivation, people. It's like I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Cause to be a cast, I need to be a nurse. If we did not retire,
They paid the ultimate price. They died for the freedom of my unborn child. We live for the legacy.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes.
Akara m ihe mbe na-eme mbe si ma chọrọ ofu ukwu ehi ma nke ọzọ mụ achọrọ ihe niile ma ụkwụ ya ma aka ya ma isi ya ma olu ya anyị ga-adọbiri wee pụọ na nke onwe anyị chigata azụ etu anyị nọ tupu ndị ọcha wee bịa ebe a nwa aha obodo ebe a nwe ndị mmadụ n'ime tupu nwa bekee si ebe o si hapụ obodo ya ọ bịa ebe a ọkpọrọ onye nke ọkpọrọ okeke ọkpọrọ okafọ dakata anyị isi ọ sị n'ụbọchị nke taa na anya aha anyị wuzi Naijiria anyị na-aza aha na-enweghị omimi n'ime ya ngwa gị gbasị biko kọwara m ihe Naijiria pụtara enwepụghị kọwara m ọmụa ga-aza aha osimiri ka osimiri ga-aza aha mụnwa n'ihi ihe anyị na-ekwuwu na ebe arụgidere ụlọ a na ọ jọgburu onwe ya ọ dịghị mma Naijiria agaghị emekọtanwu ihe ọzọ ihe ọjọọ emego n'obodo a arụ emego egbugo ndị be anyị aka na-egbukwa anyị ndị Fulani wee chere na mabata be anyị ka na-egbukwa ndị be anyị ruo ụtụtụ echi a na-asị m na ọ ga-adị mma oge ọ na-ekwu ka nwee mmekọrịta bụ nke ndị iro kọ nke ndị ụmụnne ha egosighị anyị ọtụtụ mgbe na ha kpọrọ anyị asị onye ajụrụ ajụ na-ajụ onwe ya ha jụrụ anyị aja ama njụ onwe anyị agbanyeghị na anyị nwe ngwa ahịa n'ugwu Awụsa agbanyeghị na anyị na-azụ ahịa ebe niile dị iche iche na-eme nke ọma kama onye ghara ndụ kpakụ onye ire rie n'ihe ọ Ndụbụisi ka anyị na-ekwu okwu ya ka anyị cheghata azụ ebe a ruo obodo anyị ka o wee maa mma wee karịa obodo ndị ọcha na mma ọhịa anyị na-arịọ nwekwe n'ugwu nwee nkwanye ugwu n'ime onwe anyị ọnwa anyị pụọ n'iro a na-etigbu anyị pụọ n'iro ekwu okwu asị ọ bụ gịnị ma anyị ji wee ekwu okwu ụmụ ihe ndị a ka anyị sị na anyị agaghị anabatakwa ya ọzọ
akụkọ akọrọ anyị bụ na ọkụkọ na ewu agaghị nzukọ ụmụ anụmanụ a na-emezi mgbe ọbụla a chọrọ ịchụ aja ejiri ọkụkọ maọbụ nwụchụ aja mgbe ọbụla a chọrọ ime ka Naijiria dị n'otu enwe ha na-eto esi wee kpam akpụrụ ndị Igbo ọ pụtara na anyị bụ ọkụkọ maọbụ ka ọ pụtara na anyị agaghị nzukọ mere ya bụ ihe eji eme anyị bụ ndị Igbo ụdị na ọbara ndị Igbo akpafu n'obodo Naijiria karịa
ọ bụ site na akpamasị ihe na-eme anyị dịka ihe mere ndị ji oge mgbe gara aga etu akụkọ mba niile dị iche iche ji kpọọ ụmụ Izrel asị a na-egbu ha a na-egbu ha a na-egbu ha afọ niile aka na-egbu ha o wee ruo oge ugbu anyị asị na ogbugbu a na-egbu anyị na ọ dịghị anyị mma ọ ka mma na onwe ihe ekegbuo anyị nwu nwere onwe njem a nke anyị na-aga kama na na-esi etete n'ụtụtụ asị na onwe onye gburu ebe a onwe ha na-ekwu okwu o doo na nyere onwe onye n'aka ụkọchukwu n'ugwu Awụsa ebepụ isi ọnwụghị ofu ugboro ọnwụghị ugboro abụọ ọnwụghị ugboro atọ ọnwụghị ugboro anọ ọ bụ ruo ole mgbe ka a ga-egbugide anyị wee rue anyị asị mba na anyị ga-aga ka anyị nwee ike wee nwere onwe anyị ọ ka mma na anyị nwụrụ ebe anyị na-azọ nwere onwe tụbụ na anyị nọ n'ụlọ etu a mmadụ ibe mabata n'ime ụlọ mbịa bupụ m isi a sị na-achọghị ụdị nka ọ bụghị anyị maka a ga-eji wee chụọ àjà ọzọ
onye si na a ga-ata anyị ahụhụ ma ọ bụ na anyị fee arụsị anyị wee na-efe arụsị iwe were iwe gị na ọmụma gị wee bịa leta anyị ụmụ anyị wee na-anwụsị ụfọdụ nọ n'ụzọ ije ha anaghị alọta ụlọ ọzọ nne na nna wee na-ata ahụhụ wee na-ata ikikere eze nwaanyị konye ka ọ gaa ubi ga arụ ọrụ Fulani chiri ehi bata ebe ala gị nne n'iyi okwu ebepụ ya isi anyị pụta anyị kpọpụ onye nwe anyị n'ugwu Awụsa ahụ ejide anyị wee gbuo ihe ọ bụ anyị mara aka n'ime ha si maka ha aga n'ihu elekwa ọdụ ụgbọ mmiri n'igwe ọcha bụ ememiri ọya nke dị na Kalaba otu aka ahụ anyị na-ala nsọ ebe Biafra bụ ndị kọstọm sokwenye anyị n'etiti anyị anọghị n'ime mmiri kama kọstọm juru ebe niile ha wee na-ata anyị ahụhụ anyị kwuo sịpụta anyị ka kpọchie anyị kwuo sịpụta anyị ka gbagbuo anyị onye nwe anyị na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe ọ bụ ụzọ dị agaghị isi n'efu ndị iro anyị anya wee karịa ndị nke gị akwa anyị bụ ụmụ Chineke akwa ọba aha anyị ka anyị na-aza akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza ike Chukwu akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza amara Chineke akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chisom akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chizoba nna nke dị nsọ onye ime eluigwe dịka otu onye iro dị na anyị bụ ụmụ gị bịa ka iwe zọpụta anyị bịa ka iwe napụta anyị n'aka ọjọọ ihe bịa ka iwe lụọrọ anyị ọgụ bịa ka iwe tetu ozu ọgụgụwa memilere Goliath Chineke nna nke igwe ruo memiri Fero site otu a mee ka Fero ka ọ guzo n'ihu ụmụ ndị anyị ga-ebi ka o wee taa akọkọ ikiri ọtọ ọzọ ị ga na-edu anyị n'ụzọ niile nke ezi omume ọ bụla adịghị na anyị na-aga ndagwurugwu onyinye ọnwụ ọ bụ nwa bụ ekele eluigwe n'ụwa onye ọbụla kere gị n'oge malite n'oge ọgwụgwụ kama anyị onwe anyị gwa anọkwa ahụ ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ n'ezie kama ma akpọ na okwu gị na-anọgide ego mgbe ebighị ebi ọ bụ ya mere anyị ji were gị n'anya isi anyị wee na-asị nna nke dị nsọ bịa ka iwe gosi anyị Biafra na ndụ na-abụghị n'ọnwụ bịa ka iwe na-ekebe gị na amara gị wee kpuchiri anyị ka uwe bịa ka iwe zọpụta ndị nke gị bịa ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ka anyị na-ewetụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'aha gị onye bụ Chukwu nke abịa ma
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this very night program. It is already midnight here, and we are taking our evening program now as we try as much as possible to take it on, make it as brief as we can. I welcome everyone that has connected wherever you are connecting from. Thank you so much for being part of the program, and you know what we are talking about. We spoke a lot in the morning, and we know the challenges we are facing. Remember, in this platform, we do not come here to instigate violence. We don't come to preach hate. We don't come here to attack any people, group, or individuals. We don't come here to attack any religion or race. What we do here is to present Biafra as the only remedy to the failed state Nigeria at this critical point in time. Biafra remains the only. It is no longer a thing of doubt. It is no longer a thing of that. It is a fact that Biafra today is the only remedy to the failed state Nigeria. So for those of you who have failed to understand this, we will continue to shout it, we will continue to say it, we will continue to preach it until it gets into your head. So wherever you are watching from, I welcome you and appreciate every one of you. It is a very important thing. So many things are happening. So many things are happening, more especially in this course of this struggle. Chukwu Okike Abiama is touching different angles. Chukwu Okike Abiama is working for us on different levels. Chukwu Okike Abiama is doing some things that we cannot be able to do for ourselves. Chukwu Okike Abiama is gradually doing them for us. And I bet you more things are going to come in the future. So wherever you are, do not be deceived, do not be distracted. Continue to do the part you can do. As we can see, we are celebrating the honorary citizenship of our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which was given by Georgia State. We cannot stand Chukwu Okike Abiama enough. It is speaking to the fact that we know what we are doing. It is speaking to the fact that we are not guilty of what we are accused of. My fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom, wherever you are, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiama to please appreciate what Chukwu Okike Abiama has given us. Appreciate what Chukwu Okike Abiama has blessed us with. No matter your anger, no matter your grievances, no matter your challenges, it is high time every single one of us pay attention. It is high time every single one of us pay attention. Do not be distracted. Do not be deceived. Do not be dismayed. A lot of things are happening and more is going to happen. You must not be confused. Don't allow anybody to distract you. Don't allow anybody to confuse you. Don't allow anybody to lead you into something that you are not prepared for. You must remain consistent at all times because this is a very interesting moment. In this interesting moment, every hand must be on deck. All hands must be on deck. We must not leave any stone unturned. We must not leave any stone unturned. A lot of things are happening, and I bet you, if you are a genuine Biafran at this point in time, you need to know that we are in a very critical moment. A moment that you cannot afford to miss. A time you cannot afford to miss, no matter what happens, no matter what you hear, no matter what you see. You cannot afford to miss this moment. This is the moment we are waiting for. This is the moment we waited for a very long time. We have waited for this moment. And I bet you the United States of America is preparing a very, very, very heavy surprise for Nigeria. Everything is working together for good for us. When we saw this recognition of our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, so many of us, I don't know how you look at it. I know every one of us see it on different forms and different ways. But I want you to see it on a positive note. There is a positive note to this very recognition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is somebody who they gave life imprisonment in Nigeria. Somebody Nigerian government gave life imprisonment, and they are stopping him from entering appeal with the plan of the governors in the southeast and Nigerian government. They are blocking the lawyers, hindering the lawyers from doing what they're supposed to do, and they took Mazi Nnamdi Kanu all the way to Sokoto. It is almost impossible for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to make an appeal. And they have continued to cage Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to create a different group, to spill lies and manipulation to us. They know that our Sudan Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is very brilliant. He is a man he cannot toil with. He's a man he cannot cajole. He is not after money. He is not after anything except the freedom of his people. And that is why they are fighting using every mechanism, including your friends, your relatives, your brothers and sisters. They are using against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today. Wherever you are as a Biafran, you must be very careful to the people you talk to, the people you listen to. You must be very careful. You must be very careful. Mind the people you pay attention to. Mind the people you listen to. It doesn't matter how close they are to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It doesn't matter what they have done in the past. It doesn't matter what they are going to do in the future. It doesn't matter their position, how eloquent they are. It doesn't matter those fake sympathizers. Beware of them. And we have been able to identify one. Lolo Neka Chibezie. Every Biafran must beware of her. We are not hating her. She is still our sister. She is still a Biafran. But we must be very, very careful with every single information that comes from her, because what we saw these few days, it is unbelievable. Unbelievable. If not that some of us, we have been here, we saw it all. We know things that happened, we saw the drama unfold. She would have succeeded in swearing people into destruction. And I pray that she realizes what she is doing and she turns back, turn away from that group that she belongs. That political pressure group that she's building, Biafrans are not interested in that. We are not interested in anything political pressure group. Our interest is not in political pressure group. Our interest is in the United States of Biafra. And no matter what happens, no matter what the enemies do, Biafra must be recognized. That is what we are pursuing. That is our daily activities. That is what we are fighting for. So if you are trying to show us all those fake sympathy, it doesn't have anything to do with us. This honor of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be an encouragement to every one of us. This honor that was given to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be an encouragement to every one of us to be more serious. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu received Honorary Citizen of Georgia, even while he's in Sokoto prison serving a life sentence. That shows you that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not a terrorist. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has not committed any crime. But Nigerian government continue to spill their lies. Nigerian government continue to push their evil. We will never allow them to change the narrative, no matter how they try. We will never allow them. We will continue to speak the truth. The truth, nothing but the truth. I want us to hear the word from those who were there, who received the honor on behalf of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the state of Georgia. I want you to listen to them.
To the glory of God on this very faithful day, January 23rd, 2026, right here in the city of Honorary Citizen, County. I'm here with State Representative Gabe Okoye, presenting an award to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, being received by our own ambassador. And we have our captain here, among us here, and I'm so grateful to be in, to the glory of God. I'm just so happy to be here with this occasion. We thank God for the presentation again by Representative here for Korea and Captain. Tell me your name again. Captain Zika. Captain is here in attendance. I just truly getting to be here in attendance. So, on this wonderful day, January 23rd, 2026. God bless you. Thank you so much.
You can imagine the man they condemned is the one receiving honor. Even in his absence, he is receiving honor. This is a very strong message to Nigerian government, in case you don't know. What you saw here is a very strong message to Nigerian government, telling the Nigerian government that the man they are holding is a prisoner of conscience. Telling the Nigerian government that the man they are holding is innocent of all charges. Remember, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was convicted with non-existing law. Don't you ever forget that. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was convicted with non-existing law, a law that had been repealed. And the Nigerian constitution said that before somebody can be tried, it must be under an existing law. But they ignored that. That was why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was shouting in court, Omotosho, show me the law. Omotosho, show me the law. With all the judges that were there and all the lawyers, nobody could be able to show Mazi Nnamdi Kanu the law upon which he was sentenced. So, my fellow Biafrans, wherever you are today, you must stand your ground. Don't allow anybody to sway you. They can come with a lot of propaganda and blackmail from the east, west, north, south. So many propaganda are going to emerge. Don't allow them to get you. Do not allow them to get you. The United States of America is about to take action. The prayer we have been making for many decades, our prayer point is about to be answered. Remember that Donald Trump is going to receive some documents on his table, suggestions on the decision on Nigeria. And I bet you there is no doubt that the disintegration of Nigeria is on that table. The only thing we have to continue to pray is that let the right thing be picked. How is the right thing going to pick? Donald Trump is going to pick disintegration of Nigeria when we continue to state the problem, the real problem, continue to agitate, continue to explain in our various platforms what the problem is. Those of our brothers and sisters who are in the United States, continue to meet your lawmakers. You see what the man in Yelwata is doing. That guy, Frank, you see what Frank is doing, that Yelwata guy is doing. That is what every Biafra in the United States is supposed to be doing. What Frank is doing today, that is what every Biafra is supposed to be doing. That's what they're supposed to do. Every single one of us. That thing Frank is doing, continue to meet every lawmaker, not just in United States, in all part of the world. We have Biafrans are scattered. Try to get access to your own local administrator, wherever you are. Any administrator you have in your area, local administrator in your area, reach out to them, explain to them the situation of Nigeria. Because the whole world are going to take decision on Nigeria, which is going to be led by Donald Trump. Remember, Donald Trump just signed a bond of peace. Donald Trump just established a bond of peace, which he signed and he's sharing it. That is a bond that is going to maintain peace. Take decisions to maintain peace in all parts of the world. Nigeria is on the table already. Nigerian case is on the front line. There is nothing that will make Nigerian case not to come up. But the solution is what we will continue to pray and convince our lawmakers, those of us in the United States, those in other countries. Tell your lawmakers that restructuring cannot save Nigeria. Joint task force or establishing base cannot. If they establish base, they will fight forever in Nigeria. The United States will fight forever. It will be Afghanistan situation. They don't need to waste their resources. If they want to have a base, after the disintegration, you can have a base in places. Biafra land more especially can give you a base. But do not say because of having a base, you refuse to enter into disintegration. The major thing that has to be done is to disintegrate the contraption called Nigeria. That is the major thing that has to be done. And until that is done, it is going to be very difficult to solve the problem of Nigeria. We will not just say it and go to sleep. Explain to your lawmakers, everybody that's close to you, go to them and explain to them. In your various platform, no matter how big, how small your platform is, when you meet people, discuss with people why it is necessary that Nigeria should disintegrate. It is not out of hate. Please, we are not getting out of Nigeria because we hate them. We hate anybody. No. It's not because we don't like anybody. No. It is not because we have resources. No. It is not because we are too brilliant. No. It is because our value system and their value system is clashing. And the only thing that it will result is death. The only thing that clash of value system will result is death. I can bet you that the international community knows that we are fighting for a just cause. This very honor that was given to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is to clarify to the world. The United States is clarifying to the world that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is fighting a genuine cause. He is not a terrorist. This very honor is confirming that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was forcefully detained in Nigeria. This very honor of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu speaks volume more than you can ever imagine. Some of us take things for granted. Some of us take things for granted, but I bet you must not take this for granted. The United States sent a signal to every single Biafran through this. No matter the group you are, I want to let you know, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself made it clear. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, I support every group. I have played that message so many times. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, I support any group that is genuinely fighting for Biafra. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu supports them. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say he stands with him. That is why when you see that very visit that Nneka went, that law Nneka is not part of her decision, has never been part of her decision. She doesn't know the message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or who he is. She thinks Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is just a celebrity, you can go and tell anything. No. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not a celebrity. That is where she made a mistake. Every single thing that you go there to interview Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, ask him, his followers, the core followers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have answers to all of them. And we know what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will answer when he comes out. Nobody is going to change our stand until our supreme leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes out. This is a very critical time. A very, very critical time. The United States is sending a signal to every Biafra. Continue to hold your ground. You are on the right path. That is the meaning of this honor. It doesn't matter where you belong. It doesn't matter under which umbrella you are fighting. It doesn't matter whether you are diplomatically working, whether you are working in defense, whether you are working in broadcasting, whether you are working by financing or whatever area you are doing, genuinely, deep down in your heart. Let me tell you, when you are genuine, you know. And when you are fake, you know. You cannot lie to yourself. You can pretend for everybody, but you can't present yourself. You cannot present yourself. The spirit of Biafra will convince you when you are doing the right thing. It doesn't matter the group, the section, the orientation you have. It doesn't matter your religion. Once you are on the right path, the spirit of Biafra in you will tell you that, yes, you are getting it right. Stand there. Wherever you are, stand there. I have said it, that the most important thing for us is unity of purpose in 2026. It is unity of purpose that will make the United States speak about disintegration. We need to show United States our unity under the supreme leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Any other group is free to exist, but under the supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. These are the two figures in the front line, and the world knows. So don't fight yourself. Don't tear your brow or tear your trouser for nothing sake. Don't. If anybody don't want to be with your group, allow them, let them be. If anybody have a different version of opinion, allow them, let them be. But I bet you, very, very soon, that single umbrella is going to be opened, and all of us will go under that umbrella to be secured. The only people that cannot make it under an umbrella are the people that refuse to submit themselves under the supreme command of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa. As long as you put yourself under the command of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa, no matter what you confess, no matter where you are, I bet you continue to hold on just for a little while. Just for a little while, we are going to go home. Just for a little while. All we are asking is that we want to be free. What we are saying is leave and let's leave. That's what we are saying. Leave and let's leave. Our arch enemy is the zoological republic, the entity called Nigeria, and the structure. That is what is holding us captive. Not individual, not persons. That was why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, even in Sokoto where he is, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will get lawyer for northerners that are detained. Janjaweed that are detained in the court that can't be able to pay their fine. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu help them to pay their fine. He did that in 2025. He is still doing that today in Sokoto. So it is not about hatred. It is not about hatred. It is about saving life. They were the one that hated us. They fought us, civil war. They killed us, and they continue to chase us. We never go for any vengeance. We never go for revenge. We have never gone for revenge. All this while they have been killing us since 1945. The only thing we have been saying is that we are not meant to be together. Allow us to go. That is the only thing we have been saying. With all their attack, right, left, and center, with everything they are doing to us, the only single thing we have been saying is that let us go. Allow us to go. We have not gone for vengeance. Since 1945, they have been spilling our blood. You see the difference? Like the Christian genocide they're talking about. Just because today You see people conducting mass burial. Do you know the number of Biafrans that were murdered in cold blood that were not even buried? Do you know the number of our people that were murdered in cold blood in the north that was not buried? Right from the time of medicine, during the time of medicine, 1980s, I was in the north by then. 1980s, I was in the northern part of Nigeria. I was in the northern part of Nigeria then. The medicine, they were murdering Igbos. This time it's not Christian. Igbos. Once they see you in Yamri, you are gone. When they attack in Yamri, and everybody will cry and bury their corpse. There is no camera to cover it. Nobody is going. You can't even see it here in the news. The wonderful good thing now is because you have the social media. The people in the northern part of Nigeria that came today, they can be able to cover it, use camera and cover it. They send it on social media. People will spread it. They can't hide it anymore. From 1980s, they have been doing this to us. There are many people who have testified that their parents left the north without a pin. Some came back from the north without their children. They came back alone. They went with their children and they came back alone without the family. There was no even chance to conduct a burial for their people. They can't give account. They ran and left their family. This is how bad it is. But some of you do not understand. Some of us think it's still a joke. Some of us is still thinking that it is fun. There is nothing fun about the situation that we find ourselves. And we have gotten to a point where the only remedy is disintegration of the zoo. Nothing else. There is nothing else you can put on the table that will stand except to disintegrate Nigeria. That is what we are supposed to be hammering in all our platform. Give the world reason why Nigeria must disintegrate. Continue to give reason. What are they going to bring on board? Is it restructuring? Restructuring have been tried, called upon. They rejected it and refused it. Instead, they fought against it and murdered thousands of Biafrans. That is how bad it is. Restructuring have been tried. Instead of paying attention, they murdered thousands of Biafrans. Many of us lost our lives in the northern part of Nigeria. They did not accept restructuring. Restructuring was offered to them by our eternal leader, Dim Odimegwu. Dim Odimegwu gave them restructuring. Don't fight my people, don't kill my people. Let every region be their own place, manage their own place, and we'll have a central region where we can have a central government that will manage. That was what Ojukwu gave them in Aburi. They rejected it. They came and murdered us. After the Civil War, they made humongous promise, restructuring, reconstruction, rehabilitation. The 3R, the famous 3R, Gowon is still alive. They did not implement one. There was no restructuring. There was no reconstruction. No reconstruction was done in Biafra with the bombardment that they did and destroyed the entire city. There was no reconstruction. The Biafran people by themselves reconstructed every single thing you see in Biafra today, including roads. Rehabilitation. There was never, ever anything called rehabilitation. Instead, they continue to touch our old wounds. They will tell you how they killed your forefathers. Imagine Buhari telling us, I will speak in the language you understand. They continue to remind us of how they committed pogrom against us, and they say we can't do nothing. They marginalize us from every single thing. There is no more political presence in Nigeria of the Igbo extraction. No. They caged everybody. That is how bad it is. Reintegration. They refused to allow us to reintegrate. It was the Biafran people that forced themselves after they have massacred them. We have to force ourselves to reintegrate into Nigeria, in all part of Nigeria. Not just reintegrate, we entered back and we begin to develop and establish. They didn't accept it. That is why today they are destroying our properties everywhere, more especially in Lagos. We went back. In Lagos, where our people were killed in the Hay Bridge, broad daylight, people that has nothing to do with what they were murdered, civilians. Biafrans reintegrated back, developed the land, paid their taxes, improved the area. But today, they unleash mayhem on Biafrans. They unleash mayhem on Biafrans today. We are the most hated in Nigeria. Even with all the contributions, up to today, we are the most hated. It is so sad. It is so sad. And we can't speak enough of this. There is no other way to explain it. Because we have done nothing. So why would anybody be telling us to stay with these people that hate us so much that they don't want to do anything with us? If you talk about negotiation, if the United States begin to come now and say, okay, let's sit down and talk and negotiate, let there be a conference. Conference have been conducted again and again. It never worked. Conference have been conducted in Nigeria, it didn't work. Remember Obasanjo Okuta panel. Okuta panel was conducted in Nigeria. Grievances were poured out. I have placed some of the videos from Okuta panel. People, eyewitness account, people who were victims came and testified. Nothing came out of it. Not even an apology. Biafrans did not even receive apology from Okuta panel. There was no reconciliation, there was no healing process, there was nothing that came out of Okuta panel. Goodluck Jonathan came again and placed constitutional conference. Constitutional conference by Goodluck Jonathan. You remember? Every one of you remember constitutional conference. Constitutional conference, and the country spent millions in that constitutional conference, but nothing came out of it. Absolutely nothing came out of the constitutional conference. In fact, when they removed Jonathan, Jonathan took that very constitutional conference, took the file and gave to Muhammad Buhari, and Muhammad Buhari took that file and threw into the trash. A constitutional conference where people came together to air their grievances and talk about a way forward. A way forward. They rejected it and they took that constitutional conference and threw into trash. Instead of getting into the solution, they keep on pushing their own agenda. Today, they have succeeded in smuggling Sharia into the Nigerian constitution, which wasn't there before. They smuggled in the Sharia. That is not enough for them. Now, they are trying to push the Sharia to all parts of the country. And they are not backing down. You have heard them say it, they are not backing down. You don't want to be in a secular country. You don't want to have your own country. You don't want to allow people to have their own. You don't want people to have the peace. The only thing to do is to divide that country, let everybody defend themselves. You hear our brother Frank from Yelwata say it. These people have not won any war. I say it over and over. They didn't win any war. Even the Hausa, they were not the one that defeated Hausa. Hausa defeated themselves. It is all this their trick, all this their wayo, all this their cunning attitude. They went into the Hausas, poisoned the mind of the citizens, and they went by themselves and took out all their leaders. All in the name of religion. You want to go and meet God. Today, look at Hausa. Today, look at Hausa. Hausa is no longer relevant in the north. Nobody even knows that Hausa is part of Nigeria anymore. They could not defeat the Tifi people. Tifi people stopped them in the Middle Belt. The Fulani could not defeat the Tifi. These people have not defeated anybody. Divide this country. Let every region protect themselves. United States don't need to put your foot. You don't need to waste your money, put foot on the ground. You don't need that. If you want base, there are many people that will give you the base after division. After this integration, you will have as many bases as you want. You don't need to waste your resources, waste your manpower in Nigeria, because you will only make it Afghanistan's situation. They are going to wait. If you take 100 years, they will wait. Once you leave, they are going to start doing what they want to do. So the only way to create a lasting solution is division. To your tent, O Israel. Let the country be divided along value system. Conduct a referendum. For those who are concerned about minorities, they will tell you, oh, minorities, where will they go? The minorities will have a choice to choose where they want to be. They can have a discussion with every section. Any area that they feel is acceptable to them, that they like the conditions, they go there and stay. So the minority should not be an excuse to say that Nigeria will not be disintegrated. Minority will not be an excuse. If you are a minority, minorities will be given the opportunity to make a choice of what they want. They will have the chance to make the choice. There are countries in Europe that are just 8,000. Some are not up to 1 million. Some countries in Europe are not up to 1 million. Some are just 6 million, not up to 10 million. But in Nigeria, all these people you are calling minority, there is none of them that is less than 10 million. All the people you are calling minority. So even if they choose to be by themselves, like other places, they can. They can be. It will be a decision they will have to make. So we must continue to speak about this in our various platforms. The only solution remains disintegration. The United States have given a signal. This recognition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is energizing us wherever you are. If you were sleeping before, wake up. It confirmed that what we are doing is legitimate. It confirmed that the Biafra that you and I are talking about every day, we are not committing any crime. It confirmed that the detention of Mazi Simon Ekpa in Finland is illegal. Is illegal. It confirmed that the detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Nigeria is illegal. It confirmed that the world is watching. It confirmed there are good men out there. It confirmed that the time has come. So this award from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is to every one of us. That is why I say unity of purpose. Whichever angle you are important. You can see Avid doing their member. Most of those people who were there that got these things, we are Avid members. They have their own group where they're operating. They have a group where they're working. They are doing their own job where they're doing. There are Biafrans in different angles, doing whatever group you ever continue to do what you're doing. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, under whose umbrella every one of us is operating, when he comes out, we will come together in one accord. When South Africa was fighting for apartheid, it was not only one group. When South Africa was fighting for apartheid, it was not only one group, there were many groups. But at the end of the day, they all came under Mandela. They came under Mandela. That is the umbrella that held them together. Likewise, every other places that people have fought, there will be some smaller groups, but at the end of the day, the figurehead, the arrowhead is always there. And the arrowhead of Biafran struggle is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is why anytime we see his recognition, if you are a genuine Biafran, you need to be proud of yourself, because it is an encouragement to me. It's an encouragement to you to realize and know that we are not forgotten. My fellow Biafrans, wherever you are and you are watching this program, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Kukabia, do not give up. Don't, no matter how difficult it is. Don't give up. The battle will soon be over. Our voice will be heard. The battle will soon be over. No matter how difficult you think it is, the battle is going to be over very soon. So, my beloved brothers and sisters, it is weekend. I will not take much of your time. We will go to Nigerian news because we always go to their news. From there, we will debunk them and also expose them. Those things they are hiding, if they hide them, we're going to bring them out. That is why most of the time we need to go to their conventional media and see what they are hiding. See those things they don't want us to see. We will go there, we will bring them out for the world to see. So this evening, we are going to their conventional media. Let us go there to see what they have in their conventional media and join them to speak about it, listen to them, and hear what they have to offer in their conventional media. So let us listen to what they are saying in their conventional media as we progress in this very message.
Abducting several others in a terrifying scene captured on video. Let's take a look.
Sorry, you can't see it. Sorry, let me bring this up. I'm just trying to go. It's not showing up. Let me bring it up so that you can see. You see what is happening in Nigeria, a failed state. You see the attack of the insurgents in Nigeria. How insurgents attacked and how terrorists are operating in broad daylight in Nigeria. Even with the airstrike of the United States, the airstrike did not stop them all. The airstrike did not stop them. Even with the airstrike that you saw, they are still working and operating in the Zoological Republic. Some of us would have thought that with that airstrike, that they will stop doing what they are doing. You think that with that airstrike, that they will reduce their effort. I can bet you that the airstrike did not change anything. Even with the airstrike, they are still doing what they are doing. With that airstrike, they are doing what they are doing. You will see how they are broad daylight. You see the bombardment.
In Edo State, where a brazen daylight attack unfolded Thursday afternoon along the notorious Okada axis of the Benin-Ore Expressway in Edo State, as armed assailants opened fire on stalled traffic, killing at least one motorist and abducting several others in a terrifying scene captured on video. Let's take a look.
I'm a kidnapper. For broad daylight, kidnapper. They know you're just shooting here. See, they don't even keep a safe for themselves. We don't know who they keep. They see God. We don't know who they keep. They don't keep us for granted. See, that truck so they won't stand. Everybody they want to.
Well, there were also some follow-up clips from the scene that indicate that the assailants continued their operation even as Nigerian army personnel arrived, with sporadic gunfire still audible. The Benin-Ore Expressway, a major federal highway linking Edo State to Ondo and beyond, has long been identified as a high-risk corridor for armed robbery, kidnapping, and banditry. Now, despite the presence of multiple security checkpoints, criminal groups continue to exploit heavy traffic, poor visibility in bushy bushy areas, and slow response times to carry out ambushes, often in broad daylight. Well, of course, this is the kind of story that generates several reactions. Let's go to X, where this user said, with the number of security checkpoints within this region, such incidents shouldn't even be occurring in the first place. It's scary, but also not completely surprising. Again, little to nothing might be done, aside a press release statement and empty promises. The government's focus is on how to tax Nigerians. Well, PRO.
And this is true. This guy is saying, with the number of checkpoints you have along that road, coming to the south, with the number of checkpoints you have, you are not supposed to have anything called bandit on that place. This is a place where you run, if you run one pole, you see checkpoints where they are collecting money from drivers of the road. Every pole you see checkpoint, but still, can you see the way the terrorists are operating broad daylight, blocking road? That is to show you that Nigeria is not going. The United States should watch and see that Nigeria cannot be redeemed. Can never, ever be redeemed. It doesn't matter what you do. Can never be redeemed.
Also tweeted and said every state needs active helicopters for an emergency response. Now, because we're still talking about insecurity, I'd like to tie this in with an event that you touched on earlier, and that really shook many of us to the core yesterday here in Lagos State, as the State Police Command yesterday responded to reports from 3 private schools in the Ikeja area that reported that they had received distress messages from the same unknown WhatsApp number. Now, in response, the Commissioner of Police, CP Olohundare Jimo, mobilized and personally led a team of police operatives, including a team of experts from the command's explosive ordnance disposal, chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear EODCBRN, the Rapid Response Squad, and other tactical teams to the school premises for on-the-spot assessment and security reinforcement. A sweep of the school environment, including classrooms, administrative offices, halls, playgrounds, and surrounding premises of each of the schools, was conducted by the experts to rule out the presence of improvised explosive devices or any other dangerous or suspicious materials. So the operation yielded no explosive or hazardous device, and the schools were consequently declared safe for continued academic and administrative activities. However, of course, we know that the students yesterday had already been evacuated early from the school premises, regular operations are set to continue today as police officers have now been deployed to each of those schools to guarantee their security. So we have an incident in Edo State on an expressway that has unfortunately now become notorious for various criminal activity. And then Lagos, closer to home. I never thought we'd hear of a bomb scare so close, and we're looking at some of the most quality private schools that we have. Let me start with you, Rufai.
Zimbai, I kept on saying Jesus Christ because I know that road too well. I lived in Warri. I applied that road. We'll come on holidays through that road. I have slept on that road, not once, not twice, not 3 times. Benin Shagamu Expressway, the Ondo route up to Benin. In fact, I remember one particular episode in the 90s, slept on that road. It was a contact set. It was a station wagon, Peugeot station wagon, and we had follows on the contact sets. I don't know if they still make cars that have contact sets again these days. It was a Peugeot station wagon, and we started to sleep on that road. We felt safe. We felt secure. Dubai, today, you can hardly ply that road because of things like this. On the Ondo axis, there's so much happening. Now the Ore axis. I still had a friend that plied that road yesterday, and that's why my mind was on at rest. In fact, I had to ask him, hope you're okay. In fact, when I went to pee while we're on the air, I called him again. He said, my brother, you worry too much. I said, no.
But you heard about the incident.
But I heard about the incident. You see, this problem is deeper than what's on the surface. You know what it means? The Nigerian state has gradually lost the monopoly of violence. Section 14, subsection 2 says the role of the government is to protect people. Nigerian government has finally shown that they cannot protect people again. And when that happens, there's anarchy in the land. This is anarchy. Anarchy is when 177 people were kidnapped and the government comes out to lie,
to deny
that it never happened until the list was released. So anarchy is officially in the land. The question is if you're part of it, if you get affected, that's when you know the impacts. The people that die there are not just numbers, allegedly, because we don't even see it. So what can we do? The government, yes, America will help you, give you some. You should be able to effectively diverse in this because all that you are doing apparently is not working.
They are doing nothing.
I'll go quickly to you, especially on Lagos State. Of course, we know that nothing was found. So for now, the police are calling it a hoax because there was no evidence of, anything like a bomb, but just this bomb scare on its, on its own. It's a very expensive hoax because how do you disabuse the minds of parents and guardians to take their wards back to school, especially because of the prevailing security situation or insecurity situation in the country. And that's why we said that it shouldn't be until it comes to our doorstep before we begin to see that this is a problem. Because as we often see, it could happen anywhere. As long as the security remains a challenge in Nigeria, it could move from the north, where it is, where we talk about most commonly, to parts of the south. And that's why when you hear statements like this, people would believe it, whether or not it was a hoax, and it would cause fear and panic in people because it is possible. So what we are calling for when we keep saying, let there be let the government address insecurity head-on and decisively across the country. This is the reason why we're saying that. It's interesting because I have relatives in some of the schools identified. Many people would know one or two people in this school. So it's very prominent. It's coming closer to home. And that's why every Nigerian must speak up, and the government, most importantly, must ask to act to ensure that we feel safe in our communities, in going to school. And I must mention the reason why school is important. We've said it before that, especially in the north where it's happened, there's a threat, there's an attack against education. And when you attack education in any nation, you attack the future, you attack the young people in any nation. We often talk about how the greatest resource in Nigeria are the young people, the youthful population. When you attack education, you attack the future of a nation. So it's a big statement right there. And so I'm hoping that this, yes, whilst we're saying, okay, security will be deployed, we're looking for its prevention. Very quickly on the Benny or just very quickly. Last year, August, about 13 people were kidnapped on that same road. All the kidnapped victims were rescued. However, the kidnappers were not apprehended. This is what we talk about when we say that it's beyond just saying we rescued without going after the perpetrators. It would happen again. And that's the sad story of what's happened again, where we see that, this, altercation between the police and the criminals. I think it's important for us to keep on highlighting the fact that until Nigeria is safe, it has far-reaching impact on the economy, on education, on the future of our nation. Dr. Banti, just a quick word, very quick before we move on.
Well, what happened on the Benin or the Expressway, which is a major highway linking the west to the east? I mean, most people, it's not just between Ondo State and Edo State. It's from Lagos all the way down to the south side. This is the challenge of insecurity that we face in the country. Now, part of the problem with our road, that expressway, was the poor condition of the road. Now, they fixed it up to a certain point just before you get to Benin, and yet it is not safe. And I think that should be a source of concern to many Nigerians, that the rail lines are not safe. There's a lot of anxiety with air travel, and then you are going on the roads that are also not secure. Transportation is very important. We're celebrating Morocco this morning, saying they did well. Transportation was one of the things that the Moroccans brought to the table. That's why they can, be considered for hosting the World Cup in 2030. Now, look at where we are in Nigeria. And again, the same insecurity is what will make it possible for pranksters, people perhaps this new category of professionals in Nigeria called the content creators, perhaps, just scaremongering about schools about to be attacked and all of that, and then throwing the entire city of Lagos into
confusion. It was not only in Ikeja that schools already closed down. Also on the island, everywhere, people started rushing to schools to go and bring, to go and rescue them.
Because you're in a failed state.
Panic
That is why people listen to that. In a failed state.
Peace and
if you're not in a failed state, people will not listen to such nonsense.
Environment whatsoever. And that is why government, whether federal or state, must always be on.
That's a confirmation that
red alert, high alert, to make sure that we don't have all this, panic, situations.
Absolutely, and of course, we do commend the Lagos State Police Command for attending to the situation and doing so swiftly. And we hope that we can maintain an environment of peace, not just in Lagos, but we need to restore peace all across the country. Now, just for an update, now an attack occurred at Lekki Palm Estate on Thursday morning by a group of miscreants claiming to be acting on the directors of the Oba of Lagos, Oba Rilwan Akiolu and Oba Olumepo. Eyewitnesses said the individuals stormed the estate and invoked the monarch's name while carrying out their actions. This claim that the group was sent by the Obas is, of course, yet to be independently verified, and efforts to obtain clarification from official palace sources are still ongoing. The Lagos State Police Command have arrested some suspects and launched an investigation. But this is an update because you will recall that earlier this week we saw the demolition of buildings that were said to be violating planning regulations by not securing layout approvals in this very same estate. So following some demolitions, we're now seeing some miscreants going into that place, and I hope that situation can be arrested. Now we move on to other matters. As the retired judges of Kogi State have raised serious concerns over what they describe as prolonged neglect and the persistent refusal of the state government to pay their retirement benefits several years after leaving active judicial service. The retired judicial officers who bowed out of service between 2021 and 2023 after decades of meritorious service to the state and the nation say they are now living in hardship, uncertainty, and emotional distress as a result of the non-payment of their constitutionally guaranteed entitlements. In a statement made available to the press on Thursday, judges accused the Kogi State government of violating clear constitutional provisions and established laws that guarantee pensions, gratuities, and allowances for retired judicial officers. They noted that these benefits are not privileges, but legal rights meant to preserve the dignity, independence, and welfare of judges after retirement. We have police, we have army, now judges are joining this community that cry out for their allowances and their pensions when they're out of service. Dr. Abati, let me start with you.
Okay, I think what is going on in Kogi State is scandalous. However, it is not surprising. Retired persons in this country, whether they are from the military, they can go to court. There's something in the court. They can go to court. But the only thing you can say is that if they go to court, maybe the matter will drag. Then they have to also insist on their rights. And, we are here.
Should say is that Otutu should pay them. Immediately.
You should pay them.
Educate him. You are telling judges to go to court. Judges were not paid their salary. Judges, you are being owed salary for years, and he's telling them to go to court. You can imagine judges, people that are in the court, people that are in charge of the judiciary, their salary was not paid, and you are telling them to go to court. The same court where they come from, instead to go there. And that is what Rufai is educating him. Tell them to pay. You should tell them to pay the judges, not to go to court. You see this Agbati. This Agbati is an empty head. Very, very idiotic man, and that is how he speaks. These are the group of psychophants that claim to be whatever they are not. A judge was not paid for years. They're not paid. He came from that court to tell you that he not paid. Then you're telling him to go to court. Which court is he going to? A judge. Which court do you want him to go? Tell your government, your criminal government, to pay them. You will not. Because he's siding the government. He doesn't want to blame the government. He doesn't want to talk about it. He just say they should go to court. And Rufai is telling him, tell the government to pay them. It is not go to which court? Nonsense.
The fact that we're not talking about this matter
is
an indication of a big disgrace on our country as we speak.
I never see anything.
And when we talk, people say we are demarketing Nigeria. These are matters that we should not.
They are demarketing themselves.
President Tinubu is a president that said he has done a lot of judicial reforms. He's increased their money. At a time like this, Ododo should be made to pay them forthwith.
I hope he has read the petition. But he has an attorney general.
Yes.
A commissioner of justice. What is he doing? That one too is sleeping on the
He doesn't want to blame Tinubu at all.
The example of the former governor of Oyo State, Senator Jimobi,
he doesn't want to blame
inherited a problem like this, and based on that, he swiftly responded to the demands of it. And so he is taking this up, saying that justice to one or injustice to one is injustice to all. So he's actually issued a 14-day ultimatum to the governor, failing which he would take him to court. But the most important thing, but the most important thing is that Governor Ododo should do the right thing by the people. It is disgraceful. It is an abuse of their rights.
Please, after we say that, we're demarketing Nigeria. Are these for sure not demarketing the country?
Let's not allow our judges to go to court over this issue. Now, let's look at we're talking about bread and butter issues. Issues around the economy are really close to the heart right now. Former governor of Edo State and senator representing Edo North, Adams Oshomole, has said that Nigerians are now saying food is becoming too cheap. Mr. Oshomole explained that the reforms by President Bola Tinubu's working when asked what would Mr. Tinubu use as his campaign point for re-election. Well, let's listen.
The truth is this: we promise radical reforms. Who has touched radical inflation on the pockets of the average person? Which average person? You pick this from the one of the people. Have you gone to see people complain? There are Nigerians now, who are saying food is coming to cheap. What's the this one down? No, I'm saying that from the time the president got it, and the policies.
Oh, there are Nigerians who are saying our food is becoming too cheap. Well, let's see what you have to say on X. A. Adebanjo tweeted and said, we shouldn't let the comfort of the wealthy cloud the reality of the masses. Just because a few people don't notice the price of a basket of tomatoes doesn't mean the crisis is over. For the general public, the struggle to eat is still very real. We're seeing a gradual improvement compared to the peaks of last year, but for most, food is still far from affordable. Blings also tweeted and said, foodstuffs may be getting cheaper, but there is no money to buy. Now, we've joined this with a story where earlier in the week, a Nigerian man, Olabode Ifeanyi, shared a documented comparison of grocery prices between 2020 and 2026 after purchasing the same items listed on an old supermarket receipt that he had found. So in a post on X, Ifeanyi said he decided to buy every item on a receipt that was issued to him in 2020 to measure how prices have changed over time. According to the receipts he uploaded, the total cost of the items in 2020 was 25,225 naira. However, when he bought the exact same products in January of 2026, the total bill was 147,050 naira. So based on these figures, the increase represents about 582% price increase over 6 years. So they say that if your salary in 2020 has only increased by 6 times, then you are poorer. Well, this is what he wrote. So, of course, we know that just because these items have multiplied by 582% doesn't mean that the inflation rate is 582%. But just tying it into this conversation where we're saying, Nigerians feel that food is becoming too cheap. Rufai, you've spoken a lot about this particular issue. I know you've had a lot of back and forth with Reuters as well about purchasing power and how purchasing power has been eroded.
My opinion was not to comment about it because I don't like to respond to partisan, very insular and tunnel vision opinions about the state and the plight of the Nigerian.
Are you referring to Senator Oshomole?
Yes, okay. Because he's very partisan and his opinions are very, insular. Definitely, he can't talk against the president. He can't talk against the APC. He can't talk against the government. He can't.
Likewise, your colleague.
I would like to be able to set the record straight. Food is becoming too cheap, Mr. Oshomole, in a country that has 15% inflation, double digits. Can you reconcile both logically, even by? food is becoming too cheap in a country. Let's even take their inflation number of 15%. But food is becoming too cheap in a country that has 15% inflation rates. Can you logically balance that argument? Food is becoming too cheap. Food is becoming too cheap in a country that its minimum wage can probably struggle to buy a bag of rice. Food is becoming too cheap. But in the same country, as in 1981, when they passed a new minimum wage that he knows about, that was 125 naira. That minimum wage could buy about 3-4 bags of rice. Food is becoming too cheap. Food is becoming too cheap in a country where people go to bed hungry. The poverty level has increased. A lot of people are slipping into poverty. Food is becoming too cheap in a country where you have the astronomical costs of things. Food is becoming too cheap. Food is becoming too cheap in a country where people do 100 or 001. Food is becoming too cheap. Too cheap. Underline the word too cheap in a country. If food is becoming too cheap in Nigeria as we speak today, that means insecurity is not happening.
Yes.
That means what happened on Benin or the Expressway did not happen.
Maybe they said hunger.
Food inflation. Now, recently we discussed the Nigerian National Bureau of Statistics report, where they said the methodology, was changed, rebasing, methodology review, and all that, and they arrived at 15.15% in terms of headline inflation. Even in that report by the Bureau of Statistics, food inflation, according to the MBS, that many economists have criticized, they in fact admitted that food inflation has gone up. What most people use is to say, a bag of rice that used to be over 100,000 or maybe about 76,000 is now about 50,000 naira. The question to ask is that bag of rice that they say is now within the range of 50,000, is it a bag of rice that is coming from paddy production in Nigeria or from our rice fields, or is it importation? Is it that the government is importing and flooding the market with more bags of rice ahead of this election season, so that you can create this impression, that food prices are going down? The reality is that, look, to survive in Nigeria is still a very expensive thing, even at the level of the basic need of being able to feed oneself. Now, the other thing, of course, is that I commend the gentleman. Some people here are very good at keeping junk, but that junk is not useful. Can you imagine somebody keeping a receipt from a supermarket in 2020 and bringing it out in 2026 and going to compare and contrast? As they say, the thing speaks for itself. If you spent 25,000 naira in 2020 and now you are spending over 100,000 to buy the same items, there should be no argument about that. The thing is obvious enough, it speaks for itself. But part of the responsibility of government is to ensure food security, which is one of the major subjects that the Vice President of Nigeria leading the delegation of Nigeria to Davos,
he don't start campaign.
Economic Forum.
He don't start campaign. What's his shit about talk for economy?
Maybe when we deal with food security and we prioritize primary agriculture, which we have not done, then maybe perhaps we begin to see
nonsense. He's now playing down on the whole
It's
discussion.
not through rhetoric. It's something that can be adjudged through reality.
In reality. Now, I'd like you to comment on that as well as the next story. So let me take this so you can take them together. Right, yesterday, social media was agog as Abdul Rashid Maina, the former chairman of the Presidential Task Force on Pension Reforms, claimed that the assets currently linked to Abubakar Malami, former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, represent far less than a quarter of what was allegedly misappropriated. Maina recently gained his freedom after serving an 8-year term at Kuje Correctional Center following a conviction of money laundering to the tune of 2 billion naira. He was speaking while receiving the Rule of Law and Courage Award from the Garki branch of the Nigerian Bar Association in Abuja. And Maina said the authorities have only scratched the surface, adding that more can and should be recovered from Malami, as he called for further investigations.
What has so far? It's not even one quarter. Because I'm a special. My speciality is recovery of public funds.
And stealing public funds. Stealing and recovering.
And that is why after me, we can recover these funds for money. They are more than what has been seen. What is 217 billion properties? Yes, the government is doing the right thing. The government is doing the right thing because if we don't start account, there must be accountability, transparency, and the rule of law, which is what I see this government is actually doing. As against what the last administration has been doing.
Mad people everywhere.
Because all these things happened during the last administration. I don't believe this could happen in this administration.
He doesn't believe. Well, let's see what social media have to say. They said on X, you see, if it's in one of the foreign countries, they can use this ex-convict to achieve a lot because they deal with idea and experience. Not everything is political. Mena knows how this works because he did it too, so he'll know how to get it recovered. Well, that's one side of the story. Umar also tweeted and said, unbelievable. Who secretly pardoned Mena? I know he was convicted in 2023 and was sentenced to 8 years in prison. And the Court of Appeal also upheld the judgment of the High Court. And I did do the findings, and that case was concluded in 2023, but he's clearly out of Kuje Correctional Center. Hasn't been 8 years yet since 2023, so that's another investigation that needs to be done. But since now he's now a bastion of the rule of law, having been recognized by the Nigerian Bar Association to boot. NBA recognized him shortly after coming out of prison based on corruption charges. You cannot make this up. Sometimes stories like this only happen in countries like Nigeria, and we need to change that narrative. I think the fact that he has the boldness to come out to speak at receiving that award is a slap on the face on a lot of Nigerians, particularly pensioners who had to suffer as a result of misappropriation of funds, which he was sentenced for. That's one. On the other hand, in terms of what he said, according to the money, there's still an investigation ongoing with regards to Malami's case, and until that is concluded, he cannot make statements that he wants to perhaps offer information that would help the investigation to properly convict him if found guilty, and then that's absolutely correct. What he's saying is not out of the ordinary. But let me put this out side by side with the previous story given by around what Senator Shomole said, and just listen to people who are watching, hearing these huge amounts of money being looted by people who are supposed to hold the money in trust, and you're languishing trying to afford 1 million a day, and you talk about why crime should not be on the increase or why people shouldn't help themselves. Yes, you can give the moral justification for that, but you have to understand that when we continue to see largesse like this through corrupt means and the people are suffering, you are just giving fodder for more criminality. That's why kidnappers will have a justification for going out to do what they want to do. Bandits will have a justification. That's why we'll see people who are terrorists being indoctrinated based on these things that we see and releasing that sound like
you
fiction.
will not stop seeing it until you break up with
on one hand. On the other hand, with what Senator Shomole said, is the fact that it also shows that perhaps people in government are totally out of touch with the realities of Nigerians. Pure and simple. He might actually believe what he said because maybe he went to the market and he saw, and it shows, and that's worrying. If a senator can make such a statement, let him go to his senatorial district and see how many people can afford to eat in that senatorial district. And so I'm worried if someone who has perhaps even the ears of the president is making statements like this, how will they make policies rightly for to address food security? The president declared a state of emergency on food insecurity. If you go and tell him that, no, sir, they're even saying that food is too cheap.
How do we, are these the people that he's listening to? Are these the people that are advising the president? They are completely out of touch, and that is a huge problem. This is the senator who is meant to be representing the voices and the plight of his people, and so maybe he needs to go back and speak to his constituents and really find and feel the pulse.
There is nothing to speak.
How many Nigerians
Break
are
up Nigeria.
How many Nigerians are hungry? How many Nigerians have been pushed into poverty?
Stop talking all this nonsense.
Administration began. I think it's quite insensitive. I think it demonstrates just out of touch some of our leaders are with the realities on ground of people who cannot afford even a meal a day in Nigeria. No, it was quite insulting to be told food is too cheap, because I don't feel that food is too cheap. I'm still finding it extremely expensive to just buy the basics. Well, different strokes for different folks. Maybe they will agree. I do. I love it.
Employ somebody who
no, I like to haggle. I like to bargain and negotiate. Save every penny. Everything will come on.
You big television personalities.
I went face mask and face cap. And I go and visit and say, look at this woman, let me increase the price. I gotta say, I'll speak you over to them. To save every penny, every combo. Yes.
Just still on this matter. See the list that guy brought up to do the compare and contrast. That's 145,000. Is that no more than the so-called minimum wage?
It's double the minimum wage. Double the minimum wage.
For instance, other sources like Rivers and Lagos, they pay more.
Let's, it is a Friday. If Oji were here, I know she would be saying TGIF. So let's lighten the mood a little bit. As members of the National Union of Road Transport Workers in Kaduna staged a colorful parade in honor of their national leader, MC Oluomo, during a recent event in the state. Dressed in traditional white and green attire, the NURTW members marched in formation as
honoring an Agbero.
MC Oluomo and other officials were seen standing
a criminal.
March, acknowledging the show
Nigeria
of
celebrating criminal
and
right,
support.
left, and center.
This is what it looked like.
Just a minute. Licensed Agbero in Lagos State. These are licensed Agbero that Trubu is training.
He looks well pleased.
To become Minister of Transportation, because this publicity is getting too much. Every story, MC Oluomo.
Chairman of the RSC said they want to be what? Loyalist. So
he will become the Minister of Transportation.
Anything was MC here, MC Baba.
See, anyway, those are RTW. They should go and take instruction from the police about how to match properly. When you talk, you don't just turn like that. No. Even those of us who went to NYSC camp, that's not what they do. This is not even the right food. The right is sweating God of honor.
What is the purpose of this parade? I don't even think that's
everybody have their own government.
Alright, well, just a lighter note. Let's also go to our good news today, where in our good news, Nigerian Afrobeat stars have taken over Paris Fashion Week. Davido, Fino, Joe Boy, among others, have been spotted gracing the front rows and red carpets at this year's Paris Fashion Week. Davido and Fino sat together at the Feng Chen Wang runway show, looking exquisitely dapper. So let's take a look at some of the pictures and videos of them rocking the runway, international style. And I particularly love this because, of course, we know yesterday Davido's dad had come out to clear his name, so to speak. And Davido also posted thanking his dad for being so loving and supportive. So it's just good to see that, he's back to living his life and all controversy has been pushed aside. I know.
Hopefully, all controversy is
for now. People are still releasing responses. I was saying that they're releasing videos and responses, but let's focus on Paris Fashion Week and just to see that Afrobeats to the world, really. We see, stars like Davido, Fino. This isn't the first time. Last year was the same thing. I think very importantly is also this opportunity to plug our fashion as well. Beyond music, another key area in the creative sector for Nigeria is fashion. And so we're going to Paris Fashion Week, but it's important to know that they also come for our Lagos Fashion Week. They also come for our Fashion Week. So it's an exchange of ideas, exchange of culture, exchange of industries.
Lagos Fashion, Arise Fashion Week.
Yeah, and Arise Fashion.
Arise.
And all fashion weeks in Lagos, but yes, Arise. Okay, Arise first, and others follow. Arise Fashion Week, and just to see that exchange of culture and the prospects for the creative industry in Nigeria. Really excellent to see this merge of the creative sector coming together, but good to see our stars represented on the global stage. Yeah, and the consistency of Afrobeats and Afrobeat stars who continue to dominate, not just at home, but abroad as well. And as much as we have challenges and things we're still working out, we can count on the Afrobeat stars, the Nollywood stars, the fashion designers to always fly the flag high and make us proud on any given day. So on that note, we're fixing that, but let's also applaud the ones getting it right.
In a sane society, people like me naturally hiding their face in shame. Even if they give him an award, and if this society had values, people like me naturally don't put
now criminal and they give an award. The one who our president give him.
That's all we've got. Thank you so
the
much.
The one where our president give GCON. You'll be criminal.
Thank God.
The one where President Tinubu give GCON. No be criminal. Thank you so much, my fellow Biafrans and lovers of freedom across the world, that we are able to be patient and watch with us at now. I appreciate every one of you that have been here following us till the end of the program. Most importantly, continue to be steadfast, continue to be strong, focus on the agitation, continue to focus on unity of purpose. Our freedom is sure. Very, very soon we will stop hearing these nonsense dramas. Very soon, the Egyptian you see today, you will see them no more. In this year, 2026, that name they don't want to mention, they will mention it. We also appreciate the United States of America, the state of Georgia, for the honor that was given to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, honorary citizenship. We appreciate that. It is an honor to every one of us as Biafran. It is an encouragement to us. It is something that shows us that what we are doing is the right thing. We appreciate the United States of America, the state of Georgia, and we also pray that Chukwu Okike Abiyama will continue to strengthen them and use them to do wonderful work. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being with us. I appreciate all of you. See you tomorrow, same time. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
This is from Biafra's Got Talent. We are letting Biafrans know the reason why we should remember those who gave their lives for us, those who died, that we may live.
You died to end my suffering. You died fighting for my freedom. Your blood is the seed of redemption. You are my inspiration.
The deed no longer them, military shots at them. 67 to 70, we remember them. 2016, 38 May, memory still lives in our mind till today. Wonder why they refuse to publicize the genocide. The world media turn blind eyes to our plight. It's time to arise, land of the rising sun. Let's rise one more time, let's rise.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Ipocha massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Tell them I touched me. Remember when me tell you say I touched me. Yeah, I remember that one that called us a Bruce Mero. Like a papa nuku, but them we boniro. Me tell you what I look pandi, what pandi samiro. Me tell you what I day. For we get from the rest of man, I tell you what I do. Me know that you come to tell them
heroes, I want to promise you something today. We must fight together, no retreat and no surrender. We must hold them down till the end of time. The most important thing is that we will restore Biafra.
I look up to the sky with tears in my eyes for other Biafrans and for freedom had to die. We will never forget you as the days go by. You are always in my heart, we'll never be apart. They fought for our freedom, they died for our freedom. They fought the Nigerian soldiers in the war front without food, without guns, for our freedom, for our life, for our own good, for our children. We love them, our heroes, we want them.
My heart bleeds when I saw them slain. Where will I be now if not then? They will remain indelible in my heart forever, 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 and ever, and ever, and ever.
We serve in your plantation, and the way you paid us back with your bloody starvation. We play in our history that the death of my people is a mystery. No going back to get to a victory. I had a voice now call for vengeance. I never get bomb, I'ma blow like a vengeance.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Ipocha massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Where will I be now if not you? You died at Mali.
They were starved to death because of our freedom, and they paid the debt for our freedom. Flag high for those that died in the genocide, fighting for you and I. There is pain in the heart, we bleeding inside, tears in the eyes, so I'm falling here.
This is for my fallen heroes. Keep them on the patient people. It's like I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Cause to be a cast, I need to be a nurse. If we did not retire,
They paid the ultimate price. They died for me, for the freedom of my unborn child. We live for the legacy.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Onitsha massacre, Ipocha massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright. Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Onitsha massacre, Ipocha massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Yeah, put the flag in the air. Never be afraid. March on, cause we are more than conquerors. Yeah, you know what it is.
I'm looking at myself in
We
the
must
mirror.
revenge